Hi everyone, I'm Michelangelo. Welcome to, can you believe it, already episode 96. 96, you know, when I write these, I don't really reread them. I reread them just the night before when I prep for the next day of what I'm gonna read and where seems like a good place to stop for each episode. This one is a little bit long, so let's go right into it, but somehow it's a good one. It really, oh wow, the words that I received from BlueGod, may they bless you the way that they continue to bless me. So in the last episode, he wrote, I just got a check port, like water. I dropped my tablet in the sand a few minutes ago, so let's hope that it keeps up. Every single word that you are hearing is entirely for you. It may not be obvious at times, but you have the power to understand your personal message beyond what may seem like a general message, so that I can speak with everyone and entirely with you simultaneously. Know that not only do each of you have the power to really understand how this is possible, you also have the power to transcend the limitations of rational space and time. And so you also have the power to speak with everyone at once and individually. In fact, there is nothing that I can do that you cannot. This is at once the mystery and the great discovery of life on earth. You have embodied in order to consciously awaken. Every last one of you is on the path of awakening, whether you realize it or not. Love consciousness has no limitations. Ask anyone about God and you will see that almost everyone will answer differently. The level of difference and disagreement may even be greater than for any other one topic. But ask anyone about unconditional love and you will see that almost everyone will answer the same. In fact, in this case, the similarities amongst all humans is perhaps more similar than with any other important topic. Nearly all humans will agree that it is possible for love to be at one place and at another place at the same time. They will also agree that love can be entirely, completely, and totally here with them and entirely, completely, and totally somewhere else at the same time. And even more important is that almost everyone does not understand this as a hypothetical concept, but as a concrete reality. This is intuitive knowledge for all humans. All humans are wired to understand reality, reality with a capital R. All humans, where was I? All humans are wired to understand reality, and the only reality is love consciousness. Everything else is an optical illusion. But even more important to understand is that the real transformation occurs when we experience love consciousness. When you experience the illusion, you are immersed in a totally different reality that does not let you see the reality of love, the reality of truth, the reality of oneness. No matter how hard one tries, so long as someone holds on to the reality presented by illusion, it will be impossible to see the reality of truth. You see, they cannot ever coexist. Someone can oscillate between one reality and another, sometimes even in the same second. But there cannot ever be an instance of being in both realities, because one is real and the other is unreal. You cannot simultaneously be in the reality of love and the reality of fear, because the reality of fear is an optical illusion that, although appears to be equally real, really is not. Repeat that sentence 8 times, or 88 times, or 888 times. Let's repeat it again. You cannot simultaneously be in the reality of love and the reality of fear, because the reality of fear is an optical illusion that, although appears to be equally real, really is not. There cannot ever be an absence of truth. There can only be the denying and refusing to see truth. There can never be an absence of love. There can only be the denying and refusing to see love. There can never be the absence of me with a capital M. There can only be the denying and refusing to see me. Such is the real meaning of sin. Such is the real meaning of darkness. Such is the real meaning of fear. They are the experience of a perceived incorrect reality created by the optical illusion. There are plenty of people who are already directly interested in consciously considering and exploring this subject with seriousness, but not enough for a consensual word to have emerged that would create a general understanding for all of humanity. The 3 most popular words used by the still niche but growing personal development community are illusion, ego, and darkness. In the current pop culture, the most popular term to describe this seemingly infinite, pervasive, negative force is the dark force. As in pop culture, Star Wars. And then continues by saying, because there is still not a consensual term that resonates with a majority of people on Earth, I will continue to use any of these various terms. When I use the term the dark force, I am referring to the optical illusion created by the dark force of ego. Sometimes I will use the acronym IDE for illusion of darkness ego. You can also just pronounce it ID. Using the term IDE can also be useful in understanding that all suffering emerges only because of the identification with the illusion. The dark force creates a fake and illusionary reality, but suffering only emerges when a person identifies with this fake and essentially incorrect reality. This is how someone can still be a human but not experience suffering. This also explains the difference between the level of suffering experienced between one person and another, even in the same situation and circumstances. It is the level of attachment or identification or IDE to the external optical illusion that creates the experience of suffering. Rather, it is the level of attachment or identification to the IDE, to the external optical illusion, that creates the experience of suffering. The importance is to understand this concept enough so that someone can trust to let go of the illusion enough to allow the light of truth to be revealed. When this happens, there is nothing to explain and nothing to understand. The experience reveals something that transcends all personal understanding and even choice. The direct experience of love consciousness is universal, and so it is understood by anyone in a way that transcends all words and all explanations. It is not necessary to explain what reality with a capital R is, especially since it feels more natural and more beautiful than can ever be understood or ever explained. It is everything you and everyone human has ever really wanted. Know that the experience of universal love is underneath the veil of illusion, no matter how strong, how solid, and how real the current circumstances that seem to be the cause of your suffering. Your liberation, and so the liberation of all of humanity, is a lot more near than you are currently being tricked into believing. Let it be clear, if it has not been until now, this is the essence and the purpose of these conversations. It is to help you and all of humanity come to a place of true liberation and to make my love on earth be perceived. Let me start that again. It is to help you and all of humanity come to a place of true liberation and to make my love on earth be the perceived reality for you and for all sentient beings. Love is not only possible, but it will prevail on earth. I may appear to be a more and more distant thought in the collective that we call humanity. No matter how far I ever seem to be in your life or amongst all life on earth, know that I am only one dispelling of illusion away. And if you are reading or listening to these words, know that dispelling of illusion is what you are actively doing in this moment. For dispelling your personal IDE contributes to dispelling the IDE of all of humanity. Right here and right now, we are removing some of the source of your suffering and thus some of the suffering of humanity. The more you will clearly see reality with a capital R, you will know that they are not only related, but intimately immersed as one ultimate multiplic reality. For now, congratulate yourselves for having even come this far. You are a beacon of light, a beacon of truth, and a beacon of power more great than you currently believe. There is no way that you could have attracted these words into your life if you were not being called from within to step up your game. You are more advanced in your search for the infinite, the eternal, and the great mystery of unconditional love than most others around you. And so your influence is also greater. Do not let this opportunity go to waste. Be the love you already know exists and spread it in your own unique expression. There is nothing more powerful and more needed. But no matter what you choose, and even if you think you are not ready, know that I am always with you totally and that I love you unconditionally. I would wait for you forever. I almost choked up there. Whew. I am you, you are me. I hope to see you and feel you in episode 97.